What's happening, guys, and welcome to another episode of Inside the Den. Now, don't forget to subscribe to me here on YouTube and also follow me on Twitch TV as well as Twitter for the latest updates in free gaming. Now, anyways, today we're going to take a look at Firefall. The game is in open beta, and this is a free-to-play shooter-style MMORPG, so kind of sci-fi background, stuff like that. As you can see, somehow my game got switched into French, so we're going to switch that back to English, and there we go. But you can also switch this to German, stuff like that. Now, you do have a pretty amazing introduction video, so I highly recommend you guys watch that. It's pretty cool, but you guys, I'm going to let you watch that on your own. Now, unfortunately, you can only create the one character, so we're going to go ahead and play that character, so let's jump into it. The nice thing is even though you can only play that one character, you have access to all of the different character classes, which are actually called battle frames. And as you take and you go out, you complete missions and quests and things like that, you're going to get experience and minerals and crystite, and you're going to be able to level up and gear up those battle frames. So the idea behind the game isn't necessarily to level up to max level, it's more to power up your battle frame to be even more powerful, get better guns, stuff like that. And then you're also going to have, which is actually a pretty extensive crafting system that's also going to allow you to really do a lot with gear and things of that nature. And you're going to be able to do mods and add-ons and stuff like that to your gear. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. And the really cool thing is it is open world. So you're just going to be running around and there's going to be all kinds of just random things that just start happening. So it's really cool that those random things just start happening all over the place. Now, of course, as we're sitting here going, oh, well, all these random things start happening. Random things like really, really slow load times, probably because I'm running Fraps right now. So I'm going to actually pause this video and then come back as soon as it's fully loaded up. Now, there we go. So Fraps is finally fully loaded up, and we have Arrow, who's kind of our little guide. So I'm going to let her talk. Done already?
L'accord m'a envoyé des
Of
infos.
course.
Ils ont besoin de nous tout de suite. Je transmets les jobs disponibles sur ton signe.
Now, the really nice thing is, even though I switched my language back, it's still in French. So let's see if we can jump into the options here and switch that over to English inside the game. But it does tell you guys that at least they did a really, really good job of actually having the game translated and all the voice acting translated into French, even though you guys 100% saw me change it. Now, here's one thing that I did want to show you anyways. The interface, you can move stuff around, put it wherever you want. I always like when these interfaces can be moved around and adjusted. One really cool thing about the game. But it looks like you guys are going to get all of my voice acting in French, which is awesome, but oh well. So now a couple things real quick. So the first thing we've got here is we've got kind of our PvP station here. Now we can jump in this by holding down E, and it'll bring up a little menu for us to go ahead and go in here, and we can jump into Team Deathmatch, Sabotage, Harvester, Jet Ball. So there's a lot of different options when it comes to the matches. Now you can also go in, and one of the things that I really like about it is you can watch matches. So you can jump in and just spectate on different matches and see kind of how they work, how they run, all of that stuff before you actually get yourself into them and really start to kind of, basically get your ass handed to you. So now, when we were talking about the battle frames earlier, you have several different battle frame styles. So you can see here, we've got 5 right out of the gate. We've got the Dreadnought, the Assault, the Biotech, the Engineer, and the Recon. You can see the little symbols next to them give you a basic understanding and idea of what's going on there. Dreadnought being the tank, the Biotech being the healer, the Recon being a sniper, stuff like that. So I'm going to stick with my Dreadnought. Let's get out of there. Let's go off of that. And then we're going to head up here real quick because we want to head to our garage. You can see people waiting for their garages. Well, I'm going to get into my garage. And the important thing about your garage is that this is where you're going to actually unlock and do all the things that it's going to power up your individual battle frames. So as you can see over here, I've got 11,404 experience, organic, minerals, and gas. And then over here, I've got, 59 crystite. So that allows me to go ahead and level up these different things, but I can't actually do anything right now because I am short on crystite. So I have to actually go out and I either have to kill monsters, or I have to go find a thumper, or I have to take and buy a thumper and then actually mine the minerals, the organic, the gases, and stuff like that, and then sell and get crystite and all of that to be able to actually level up. Now you see here I've got my signature weapon, my secondary weapon. I've got some abilities unlocked. I've got a third ability that I still can't unlock. I've got my HKM, which allows me to do kind of like a big powerful mortar type blast, stuff like that. You got passive, so you got all these different modules, and each character, each battle frame has all these different things. So you can see you're going to constantly be progressing through to try and level up and get experience and all that stuff to be able to get these things unlocked. Now we've got all that experience, but it's only on the dreadnought. So you actually have to get the experience for each of these characters by going out and killing things and doing missions and all that stuff. Now another way you can do that is actually exploring. Now we're gonna go back. Actually, no, we'll stay with our assault for now, which is kind of hot. So we'll stay assault equipped, and we're gonna go ahead and we could take it. We've got this massive blaster rifle. We've got 48 shots of that. You see, now right now I'm in first-person shooter, so I'm going to move back to third-person shooter mode. And I've got jump jets that'll allow me to jump up in the air and stay nice and high for a little while. Now, one of the things that we're going to want to do is we're going to bring up our map. And you see here we've got the Copacabana. That's where we are right now. And as we zoom out, all these different areas here, they unlock by finding the sin, it's kind of like the radar in the area. So if you go and you find the radar in the area, like there's one here for the Sunken Harbor, there's one over here for the Trans-Hub Command, and so on and so forth. And then there's smaller ones like this Watchtower and the Moisture Farm and stuff like that. And you see all these different areas that are actually completely blocked out, like we can't see them right now. That's kind of where the aliens have taken over and things like that. So you want to kind of get as much of your map opened up as possible. Here's why. So if I take and I have a something that happens right here, like if there's a chosen invasion or something like that, I can't see that yet because I don't have any control or zone in that area, or any radar essentially keeping an eye on that area. So I want to unlock those. The other good thing is it's easy experience. But to start out, we've got this raw anabolics. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. We'll right click on that, and that'll create a waypoint out of that. And that means that we can take and we can basically look kind of on our HUD and quickly find that it's going to be somewhere. It's going to be somewhere. So it looks like it's over maybe this way. Nope, it's off to our right a little bit more, but let's get up here a little bit higher and then we'll be able to see it. There it is. So it kind of got hidden. So we're going to kind of head down here, and then we're going to keep following that little marker on our HUD and head off to do this quest. So we're going to cruise down here. But you can see, I mean, graphically, freaking fraps. So graphically, the game is pretty good looking. I mean, it's got a different gameplay style. So, different graphical style. So it's kind of a different feel than, a lot of the other shooters out there. You kind of got this, toony. It's becoming very apparent that this is something that players want. It's starting to be a graphical style that a lot of games are kind of leaning towards. So we're gonna keep cruising over here. But you saw I went by those little stations there. Uh-oh. So that was actually a dead monster. So, but we're gonna kind of cruise over here. Now you see right here we've got kind of this crab-like monster cruising in our direction. Now we took him out no problem. We've got a little bit of experience, and you see right there he dropped 36 Christites. We're gonna pick those up, and those will be used later to be able to upgrade our character. Now I think I'm gonna have to jump into my options here. I'm gonna have to turn the graphics down a little bit. I have them on ultra high right now. Let's take them down to medium, kind of reduce any of the issues we might have with the game lagging while I'm trying to record. So we'll turn that down. It seems like we got rid of that. Now, one thing that I also want to keep in mind, you see a lot of water here. Now, if I get into a situation where the water is a bit too deep, I will sink. So you want to really be wary about that, because if you sink, you will die. So the other option is, see, I'm sinking there, get up out of it, and let's get over back to where it's shallow. Oh, I committed suicide. I wasn't able to get out of there fast enough. And it's all that guy's talking. It's all that guy talking. He's bothering me. So basically, we are drowning. We committed suicide. So you want to be very, very wary of the deep water, because then you're basically going to be set all the way back. Oh, it looks like it did switch to English for me.
As I have always said, the safety of Copacabana's residents is my #1 priority. Thank you.
So there we go. Yep, you said thank you. Now shut up. There we go. Thank you. Thank you for shutting up. So did that quest didn't finish. So let's go ahead and click on that twice. Get that as a marker, and there we go. We've got 150 meters until we get over there. But that's one thing that I was going to warn you guys about. I didn't mean to actually die from it, but I did. So oh well. I know that Ash is sitting there going, die, Lippy, die. So hey, whatever. But you can see it's actually way up there is where we have to go. So we have to find our way up this little hill here. So we're going to need to kind of search around this little area. But I love the design and the way that these little areas are set up, and they do have, you know, the water and stuff like that. I think it's really well done as far from a graphical standpoint. I think it's really neat the way that they took and they made these landscapes look, and the fact that they've got all these different things going on here. All right, let's get up here and let's get over here as close as we can get. All right, up we go. Come on, you can make it. There it is. So there it is, raw anabolic. So we need to take, and essentially we need to protect this thing from these bad guys. Time to protect from the bad guys. So you can see there's a bunch of other players actually taking, and they're all set up in place. They've got turrets in place. If you're an engineer, you're gonna be able to set up turrets. If you're one of the dreadnoughts, you'll be able to put up shields and protect people. So they've got this kind of on lockdown already, and they're really set up. So you can see it's kind of neat. You can just kind of jump into these areas too, and everybody will get credit for completing this as well. So everybody that's here is fighting off all these bad guys and all these monsters that are going to take and try and attack and take down this, which is basically a thumper. Is going to get credit and going to get the bonus XP and whatever other rewards will go with completing this quest. So you can see right now, this thing is at 57% capacity, 100% integrity. So that means that it is doing its job at 100% because these guys have kept it nice and clean around here for quite a while. So it's already at 61, and once it fills up, it'll be done, and we will all get our little quest reward. So it is kind of neat that they do have these world events that you can jump into right away and just have some fun with other players and start bombing away on all these big batches of monsters. And with any luck, we'll start to get some crystite, which will help us be able to level up later. These guys, like I said, they have this pretty well on lockdown. So I'm just trying to get any shots off that I can while some of those monsters show up, with the hope that I will get some of those right there. Get a little crystite. Never hurts. Run in and pick up whatever we can. So let's take all these things out. And there we go. And we got some more crystite right there. And this thing's got to be getting close. As soon as it's done, it will essentially take off. We need to take care of this guy. Holy smokes. Look at that guy. Look at that giant. Looks basically like a giant sea crab. Or what do they call those things? I can't remember the name of those. Of course, when you're a kid, you never forget that stuff. But as you get older, you can't remember. They're the ones that kind of basically move into shells on the bottom of the ocean. But hey, whatever. Like a sea snail or whatever. See, he took it down a little bit. It's only got 94% integrity. But you can also get these. One of the great ways to earn minerals and stuff like that from the game is to actually do your own thumpers and actually buy the thumper, head out to an area, take a bunch of friends, and actually do the thumpers on your own, and then you'll essentially be able to mine all this stuff on your own. So it is a big gameplay component to be able to get involved with these thumpers and do your own thumpers in different areas and you'll even find some of these things that will be above ground, and you'll need kind of an item that will take. There you go. So it's full, and off it goes. It's going to take off any second now. Hopefully I'll be able to give you guys a look at that without getting shot at from behind, because up and away, I actually got a creature kill streak, and I wanted to bring that up anyways. There are a lot of achievements in the game that you can just take and essentially kind of get yourself involved with. There we go. Show reward screen. So we went ahead and we got our reward where the thumper took off, completed our quest, and off we go. So there we go. It has completed, and there you go. So you've got all of these different things as well that you can do, and you've got daily progress, you've got world events that you can do, complete 100 world events. Oh, did I just get smoked? That thing just landed on me and smoked me. Thank God these guys were here, because while I was looking at that resource, one of those guys dropped a thumper basically right on my head. So that was pretty awesome. So it looks like, is this still a quest? Yep, it looks like it is still a quest. So we're gonna be able to continue to do this and help these guys with their thumping, so to say. But what I wanted to show you guys, so you got a lot of different world events. Then you got PvP, PvE, exploration. You can see find 5 of the City Imprints and Copacabana. I found 2, so industry, social. You've got a lot of different stuff. You can bring that menu up by hitting Y. You can also take and bring up by hitting your inventory. Here's a lot of things that you can take and sell and actually get different currency for by bringing up your inventory, selling all that stuff when you're in town. We want to go ahead and so these guys. So there we go. We've also got our O as our friends list and other stuff like that. Then we can go ahead and we can hit K and we can actually queue anywhere we want for PvP. Let's fire these guys. Oh, here's a little sea snail trying to sneak in the back way. Then M, of course, is going to bring up our map. Then we've got thumper results. We can show by taking and clicking on it. We can see right there 13 times bonus. And then we've got a bunch of other stuff. Enemies destroyed so far 7. So you can kind of see your progress by doing that stuff as well. So there's a lot of different cool things that are going on. You've also got some really cool gliders that can get you around the world really fast. Like I said, the game does have a full crafting system. It's one of the reasons that these guys are probably doing these thumpers, is they're trying to get resources, be able to actually do more crafting, be able to build more items, be able to create more items, sell those items, or actually level up and stuff of that nature as well. But you can see, I mean, even down on medium settings, you can see we can see pretty far off into the distance, and you can see the game world it's not just your kind of flat game world either. It's really vertical, which I definitely like. And then, like you can see here on the map, you've got these daily quests that are off in all kinds of different directions that we could take and do. We've also got these Ares mission. You can see right here, difficulty stage 2, group is not required. So we're gonna go ahead and, you know what, we'll head off and do that. We'll leave these guys to their thumping, and we'll head off in that direction to, we need to head this way. So we're gonna head off in that direction. And actually, oh, did I make it? No, I didn't make it. I got knocked backwards. But at least, hey, at least I didn't die. I didn't fall in the water and die. So we're going to cruise over there. It's probably the same one that I did before, but that's right. It is really cool to at least see that the game does have all these constant world events happening, which is really neat because instead of just these basic standard linear quests, you've got all these random different quests and events that are going on all the time. You can pick and choose which one you want to do. And that to me is kind of nice, because it's like, hey, you know what? You don't like this, you don't like that, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that. You can kind of jump in to whatever tickles your fancy. Now we're back to French. So it looks like the game is just picking and choosing what language it wants to speak in and not really giving me a choice. So I think, yep, there we go. We're going to head up this way. Like I said, everything is very vertical, but that's to be expected. I mean, being and using your jump jets is very much part of PvP. It's very much part of all these PvE landscapes. Like I said, later on, there are a lot of usages where you're going to take and you're going to use the... go up the ladder? Oh, get off. There we go. Where you're going to use the glider, and that's also very vertical. So here we go.
We need to get there later to use his teleporter. Once he does, the Accord can track his movements through the Sin.
Okay. So we need to take... Oh, and watch out for all of these guys.
Boss, ils vont appeler des renforts s'ils activent ces radios.
Oh, we got smoked. I kind of didn't really want to jump in there like that. So you guys get to see me die twice. Oh my goodness. But these things are really kind of fun, so I can call for help, I can spectate, I can hit space. There's nobody here. I'm just going to hit R to respawn, and that takes me all the way back to the Copacabana. So it will take me a little bit to get back out there and to do that mission. As you can see, it's about 300 meters away. So, but this gives you guys a decent look at Firefall and what the game has to offer. Obviously, as you get later on into the game, there's a lot more to offer. Right now, the game is still adding a lot of things too. A 5-man raid has recently been added, and they have plans for a lot more of those. One of the things that's really cool is you can see way off in the distance those guys still fighting that thumper. Here's another, looks like a player, Lieutenant Don. Oh no, it's actually an NPC. But you can see way off in the distance, you can see those guys work on the thumper. So it's neat to see that they are still adding things to the game, and I expect them to add a lot more and keep progressing towards giving players end-game content and a lot more content. Right now, the end-game content is a little thin, but hopefully with time that will keep progressing and keep getting filled up, and there will be a lot more added over the course of time. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's trip inside the den. Don't forget to subscribe and keep yourself updated as each new episode is released. Also, please comment and like this video, as I really do appreciate that feedback. If you'd like to play or learn more about Firefall, you can see the full game profile at MMODen.com or just click the link in the description. Till next time, thanks for watching.